everyone, welcome to my video today. So I'm going to talk about today, I have a whole video where I talk about my schizophrenia, like just all the experiences that I've had. I made it like 3 or 4 years ago. But I just wanted to talk about some of the experiences that I didn't talk about on there and just some of the bizarre things that go on. And then I'm going to talk about, because someone asked me once why it is that I've shaved my head, so I'll talk about that after. The schizophrenia I had was very severe. It wasn't just like I randomly heard voices in my head, like I was in a whole different world. I thought it was God that was talking to me, and it's not like the spirit. It was like a voice in my head, and he would like talk to me all the time, tell me what to say when I'm talking to people. He would command me to do things. I didn't think anything was wrong with me because it happened like right when I started going back to church again, because I'd been inactive for a while, and so I just thought it was God coming into my head and talking to me. So yeah, it was very severe. I was like in my own world, so I didn't think that I needed to take medication, so it went on the severity for, I went on a medication for a little while, but for about 3 years this went on. And before I decided to ultimately stay on medication, so I got sick with the schizophrenia when I was 22, and then when I was 25 I finally decided to stay on medication. That happened because the state actually forced me to take medication. Like I had to by the state, or they could force me to, and at first I think I was complying, but then I hid one of my pills, I think because I wanted to take it later, because the antipsychotic I take makes me like feel really restless inside, and it's horrible. So that's why I take it at night. But anyways, I think that was the reason I hid the pill. But anyways, since they saw me do that, I got put on an injection, so I every 2 weeks get an injection of an antipsychotic, and I had to do that. The state would force me to, and it was making me gain a lot of weight. A lot of antipsychotics make people gain weight, and it was really hard on me, and so I was trying to like petition to get off of commitment, what it's called, but they finally took me off, and I decided to stay on my medication finally. And one thing that bugs me though is in my schizophrenia video where I talk about all the experiences, a lot of people go on there, they say weird things and talk about these demons, the other voices, and since I thought it was God, it's demons. But I have a question for you. If it was demons, then why when I take medication do they go away? I really don't think demons go away because of medication. So yeah, I get some weird comments on that video telling me it's demons and stuff. And so one time I was hospitalized 4 times for the schizophrenia, and one time I was in the hospital for 2 months because they were giving me medication, but I just wasn't getting better, because I think it takes time to get in your system, and I was just really severely bad. So I was in there for 2 months because I stepped, and they didn't want to, they wouldn't let me out because I was like communicating with my hallucinations and doing weird things all day and wasn't getting better. So I was in there for 2 months at one time. And so anyways, I'm going to tell you a few stories. I wrote them down that I haven't told you. And also the voices, like God talking to me, he would like keep talking to me like all night, and I couldn't sleep, so I would like just stay up all night because he would keep talking to me and I couldn't sleep. One time with my schizophrenia, I locked myself. It was actually Zupa's, the restaurant that I did the mukbang for. I locked myself in the restroom for like 4 or 5 hours, around there. That's not an exaggeration, because I was communicating with my hallucinations in there and doing weird things with my hallucinations that I would do. And my mom went to the restroom with me, so she just sat out there and waited, and she told me later, a little while ago, that, sorry, I need Face ID to get in my phone. So I remember her telling me just a little while ago that she was talking to a lady, because that was the only women's bathroom, and there was just 2 bathrooms, individual bathrooms, a women and a men. So none of the women could use the bathroom. And she said she was talking to someone out there that was saying that their child, talking about someone in their family that had a mental illness like I did, because my mom was talking to them. So, and then one time, I never told this story, I don't think. So my mom was she would have cops, police come over to my house to try to get me to go to the hospital because I didn't want to go to the hospital and I really needed help. So like she had the police come over, and sometimes they're like, there's nothing we can do. So anyway, she drove to take me to the hospital once, and I didn't want to go, so I got out of the car and I like walked to Smith's that was like a little way from the hospital. I walked over there to get away, and anyway, she brought the police to find me, because I think I might have called her from there. I don't remember exactly, but I remember her bringing the police with her. And then so the police officer said to me, you have 2 choices. You can either go to the hospital or you can go to jail. And in my out of mind state that I was in, I said jail, which is obviously because I was in an out of mind state, because actually that's one of my terrified things. One thing I'm scared of is going to jail. I would never want to go there. So obviously I ended up going to the hospital. Like at work, I remember Custom being there, and like the voices were telling me to do things, so I would like jump on the floor like when he was talking to me. My mom was, I know, like one time didn't want to go to a restaurant with me because she was so embarrassed because I would do weird things. Like I was at the gym once and I was just staring at the walls, and I don't remember what I was doing, just communicating something with my hallucinations that was like I was seeing on the wall. I did that forever, and then they called the paramedics because they obviously thought I was acting very strange. I would do very strange things. One of the customers at my work asked my mom if I was drunk, and I've never drinking alcohol before because of how I would act. I don't think I told this story when so this is when I was in McCady Hospital. I would stay in the shower and just communicate with my hallucinations. And just, I don't know, so I kept staying so I was in the shower and I wouldn't come out. And they kept telling me to come out and I wouldn't come out. So then like I'm pretty sure they were a girl, but a few, like, I don't know, 4 or 5, like it was a group of nurses came and like physically took me out of the shower, and I remember just standing there naked and like, I don't know why they didn't give me a towel, but that would have been nice. But I just remember standing there naked because they all came and forcefully took me out of the shower because I wouldn't get out. Like I would try to, I would open the door like when my mom in her car, when it was still moving, I would try to get out. So anyways, those are just some of the things that I didn't. Also, one more thing, I already told this story about, I was just thinking about it the other day. Wow, I've been talking for a long time. So, I would get this horrible, angry feeling like of rage, but it would like, it was like a feeling in my body, not just like when you're angry, but it like overcame my body, this feeling of, it was the most horrible feeling that I've ever felt in my life, and it was horrible, and schizophrenia was the hardest thing I've ever been through. The feelings were so horrible, and they would just come upon me, like when I was reading, and at home I would be reading scriptures and this feeling would come upon me, and so I would just rip up the scriptures in my hands and books. I would just rip up things because the feeling that came upon me. And so I was in the LDS temple, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Salt Lake City Temple, and this feeling came over me when I was in the chapel, but I was the only one in there, and they have like rows of seats, and then they have scriptures behind the seats, like in little compartments. So this feeling came over me, and I took, and like this horrible feeling, and I took it and I just started ripping up scriptures. So I ripped up, I think it was like 6 from what I recall. I just ripped rip them up. And I just was thinking like how out of my mind I would have to be to do that. Like, and like I called them when I left and said, I gave them my number and told my main name, and I believe I told them I thought it would be a good idea, even though at some point, like, I thought nothing was wrong with me. At some points, like, I would start realizing that I had a mental illness, or, so anyways, I told them that I had mental illness, but they never, like, contacted me after that, and I don't know if they have cameras or, like, I would think they'd be able to figure out who it was, but they never, like, contacted me. I actually paid them back the worth of the scriptures and my tithing, but I was just thinking about, like, I mean, if they did know who I was and they prayed about it, they would probably know that I had a mental illness, and I wasn't, like, trying to be bad and, like, ruin the temple. I just had a mental illness. So, yeah. And also, so now I just want to tell you about, so I'm doing really well. So the first time I went to the hospital, they thought I had schizophreniform disorder, and what that is, it's like if you have schizophrenia but for a shorter amount of time, just like a few months. So since I went to the hospital the first time, they thought it was schizophreniform disorder. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But then I went to ended up going to the hospital 3 more times, and those times they diagnosed me with schizophrenia, and I was reading my hospital records, and some of them say they were wondering if I had schizoaffective disorder, and also they said that I might have disorganized schizophrenia. So my therapist now thinks I have schizoaffective disorder, which is a combination of schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. But I don't know if that's like official, if a therapist can officially diagnose you. A therapist, I think it has to be a psychiatrist, but I agree, like I had a horrible rage, angry problem, and I was very impulsive, but my therapist also says that I have traits of borderline personality disorder. So I'm very, like, would be very impulsive, and so for a long time I was just on the antipsychotic, and I thought, oh, that's all I need, but I had this horrible anger problem, and like taking a mood stabilizer, like, saved my life. Taking a mood stabilizer, it really helped with the anger, and then also I take natural things, but thank goodness, like, I love that medication that I take. It's the general form of lamotrigine, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So yeah, I take that, and that really has helped me a lot. And then I take lavender oil pills. So, you know, like the essential oil lavender, they come in pills that you actually take, and that helps calm me down. Like I just, like, right when I got the schizophrenia, I just got with it a horrible anger, rage problem. So that I didn't have before that. So that sucked, and I can't remember what I was saying before. Yeah, so, and then I've also been diagnosed with OCD, and then 3 or 4 years ago I was diagnosed with anorexia again, because I relapsed. So, but, like, I mean, you'd be kind of stupid to not realize that I had schizophrenia, like, it was severe, and, like, I read one thing that said, like, there's all these symptoms that you can have for schizophrenia, but if you have an ongoing commentary of a voice talking in your head 24/7, then you're diagnosed with schizophrenia. And if it's for more than, like, I think 6 months, or I don't know if that's part of it. I heard, like, if you have hallucinations and delusions for more than 6 months, it's schizophrenia. But those are just things I've read, but it was very severe. And oh, now I remember what I was going to say. So, so now I'm doing really well with my mental illness. I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well with the OCD, and I'm doing well with my eating disorder, even though I'm working out, like, trying to lose weight and things. And I'm doing well. So I'm doing well with the OCD, and because BPD and bipolar disorder both cause anger problems. So, and I don't know. I know impulsiveness is a symptom of borderline personality disorder. So anyways, the only one thing with my schizophrenia is like I can't tell the difference between the voice that I believe is, because like the delusion is I believe the voice in my that came into my head was God. I like believe that. No one could tell me otherwise. I believe it's God. And then also he was talking to me and doing weird things. I could see different, those obviously the hallucinations. So what was I saying? So, and sometimes he would be like funny, and anyways, I was saying I can't tell the difference between, like when it's the spirit of God, like in actual real life that people feel like spirit of God if you're close to God and you pray, and then like the difference between that, and because I feel like my hallucinations are from God, so it's hard for me to like tell the difference. It's really hard for me. So anyways, even like now I see that they were hallucinations, but like if I don't know, if it came into my head, I guess now it's still like a little fuzzy, like wondering if it's hallucinations, because it's always like something I would think God would say. But anyway, so beside the point, I'm trying to say the only hallucinations I really get now, just sometimes I get God saying to me, like he calls me child, and like he'll say like child, and then like he says it kind of in like a loving, playful, humorous, loving way he says it, like when so that's just what now I still get sometimes, is like if something happens he'll just say like child, or I can't say it right how he says it, but like he'll just call me child, and then like if a situation happens that I need like talking to, or just yeah, so that's the only like hallucination I still get, but like when I am off of my medications he gets really mean, so anyways, so now I wanted to talk about why I shaved my head. So the first time I had really, I don't know if you can see my kitty right there. I had really, all through high school, and like I started growing my hair out when I was like 12, I had really long brown long hair, and it was really long, and I kept it that way. I didn't have any thoughts to cut it. Like I liked it. I didn't ever think about, like, I didn't really ever care to cut it. Like I really liked the long hair. I could maybe show you a picture. I really liked the long hair, and then so right when my schizophrenia started, that's the first time like I cut it more, because the hallucinations and my delusion would be really mean and make me really upset. So I would just take scissors and go and take scissors and cut my hair, like just out of anger and frustration. I would just take some scissors and cut off some. So then it ended up getting shorter the first time I did that, and then I did it again and it got even shorter. I believe that was the second time it got shorter. It was like and then when it was that short, I like cut a big hunk like right here, and so I went to the hairdresser, and she kind of made tried to blend it, but there was still like a hole there. So then I decided to go to the hairdresser again to fix it better because it still looked like obviously I had a hole there. And she's like, I can do like, you know how they do it like short on one side and then like it's short on one side and long on the other. So she's like, I could do that, or I could do like a pixie cut. Like a longer pixie cut where the top is longer. So I got a pixie cut. So that was the first time like I'd gone that short, that I got that pixie cut. And then, so I don't remember all the times that I did that when I was upset, kept chopping my hair off, but then I just kept getting, like for 2 weeks straight, I got this urge to shave my head, like just this urge, and it wouldn't go away. So this was like after I was on my medication for schizophrenia, but I just would get that urge. So then I went into the hairdresser and I had them shave my head. And that was the first time I shaved my head because I've just always, in the last, I don't know how many years, it was after the schizophrenia started, I just get constant, that I would get constant urges to shave or just cut my hair off or shave it. Like I get upset and I'm like, let me just shave my hair or chop it off when I get upset, or just random urges. And I had grown my hair out a little bit ago. I had grown my hair out to like here, but I would still get these urges all the time, just wanting, I think it's like a really weird symptom of mental illness. Like I don't know other people that have had it. I don't know exactly like what causes it. I know I've been through abuse growing up that I don't really talk about, that I don't want to talk about, or probably won't, because I don't want to hurt the people that were involved by talking about them badly. But I went through abuse, and then obviously I have mental illness now, so I think both of those things contributed. I also was bullied a lot in school, that might have contributed to my problems. So maybe a combination of those, I don't know exactly what. And so now I was still, even when I grew hair out to here, like it was so hard, like mentally, to grow it out to there, because I would constantly get urges to cut it or shave it. And so as you know, I shaved my head, I don't know, maybe it was like 5 or 6 months ago or something. I don't know, I just, one night, I just couldn't handle it anymore, and I was actually, when I went into, I'm like, well, first I decided, I'm like, I'm just going to do it. So then I got out my video camera. That's why it's kind of like a sucky quality video, because I just did it impulsively and I just put the camera out right when I decided I was going to do it. But I was just going to cut it like short. Then I like screwed it up. And then anyways, and it felt better. I just wanted to like, it felt better to just shave it all. I don't know, like felt like I finally did it. But I don't know, I feel like Colleen might have contributed to that a little, that I knew I was going to see her for the last time, which was a contributing factor. I don't know why I would want her, why that would be a contributing factor, but I was going to see, like, she stopped touring for, since she had her baby for a while, and that had some contributing factor. And then also, like, I just have the urges all the time, and I finally gave in. So now that my hair is this short, and I think even if it gets a little longer, like a pixie, I don't get the urges as often at all, or very, very little. But it's just right when it starts getting like longer, I get the urges really bad to shave it. I'll just get random urges, and then, except I just get urges to shave my head if, like, I had some to cut my hair, just because if I get upset or something upsets me, then my reaction is cut my hair or shave my head. I don't know why, that's so weird, but So I was gonna get this to try to help that urge. The other day I was gonna try to get the just sides cut more, because this part I haven't touched. The top hasn't been touched for like 4 months since the end of August. Like 4.5 months. But I just had them cut the sides and the back so that I could grow this part out. So I was just gonna go in and have them cut the sides and the back again, so just the top part can grow out. But then I decided against it finally. But I don't know when the symptom will go away. Like, I feel like it's a weird. I mean, I feel like people with mental illness get. Some people do things to their hair. Or like cut bangs when you get upset, but I feel like the constant urge all the time to like shave my head is just weird. I don't know. But right now I'm doing, besides if I get upset, I'm doing well with this length, wanting to shave it. So anyways, this is so long, and those are just the reason about the shaving my head. And so I don't know, it's weird symptom. I feel like people with a borderline personality disorder change their hair color a lot. Do things with their hair. I've just noticed the people that I've known a couple of people that I know have it. So maybe it's something that you just gotta mess with your hair. I don't know. Because before my schizophrenia started, I just had long brown hair and I didn't care to change it at all. I did not have any urges to shave my head. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I just want to say, I know I say this like at the end of every video, but it honestly means so much to me when you guys leave nice comments. Like, it makes me feel so good, and like it's so nice. It makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel so good that that you guys like watch my videos, and that you like the people that watch a lot of my videos that are subscribed, because it makes me feel like there's people that actually like me, because besides the people that watch my videos and dislike them, but I feel like you wouldn't like subscribe to my channel and continually watch my videos unless you liked me. So that makes me like feel really happy and good that I actually have people that like me. And yeah, it just means so much to me, like the kind comments and just that you guys subscribe and watch. And I love you so much, and I'm just so grateful for everyone that has subscribed, like that you would care about to subscribe to me. And it just means so much to me, and I love you guys so much. And yeah, I just love you guys. And don't forget, you're strong and you can get through whatever you're going through right now, and that you're beautiful and you're loved, and there is hope, and things will get better, and things will be okay. Everything will work out, and it'll be okay even though it doesn't feel like it. And yeah, I just love you guys so much, and thank you. And okay, goodbye. God bless.